الله يا دايم الله يا دايم إليك يا رب هو الليل فاحل أنادي بقلب أنت تعلم سره يا دايم الله يا دايم.
We arrived in Istanbul on March 6th, 2020. We were 2 families, 10 kids, and more bags than we could count. This was just before the coronavirus restrictions went into effect. We didn't know where we were going to live, what we were going to do, but we did know that we wanted to build a healthy Islamic culture for our children that was grounded in sacred knowledge and connected to the world around us.
Here in Turkey announced very late last night that 31 cities around the country would go into a 48-hour curfew beginning at midnight.
It was a bit challenging at first. We had to improvise as the COVID crisis accelerated, find temporary accommodations, keep our kids busy, deal with the curfews, and deal with mosquitoes with the tools at hand. But then we found Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened His doors for us. Our shipping container made it through multiple seas, countries, and COVID restrictions to find us in Istanbul. And some wonderful people, part of a spiritual community here in Istanbul, helped us find apartments, and we found them together in the same building in a suburban district of Istanbul called Maltepe, 10 minutes from a coastal park. That's where I am right now, Idealtepe Coastal Park. And it had everything that we could ever want. Open green space, beautifully lined trees and flowers, playgrounds, track and soccer pitches, swimming and fishing in the sea, bike trails that stretch for miles and miles and miles along the sea, beautiful sunsets. And if no one's looking, I can find a little space and open up one of my Arabic grammar books and relax. There's even a little masjid, beautiful, wood-crafted, and the serenity that you find inside it is greater than the joy that you find outside it. One of the remarkable things about Istanbul is that ferries here are just like buses and trains. We are one ferry stop away from the Prince's Islands. We sometimes take a ferry there and spend the whole day there, biking next to the pristine waters. We go down a trail, sit in a space overlooking the beautiful blue sea, while our kids, they find places to climb down, bathe in the water, and collect seashells. We've also taken the ferry to the beautiful coastal town of Armutlu, where we rented an eco-lodge, stayed in wood cabins, in the symphony of frogs. There's a natural swimming pool there, beaches close by, and we were surprised by a hailstorm in the middle of the summer, and the highlight were the resident kittens. We couldn't go outside in Ramadan. It was the height of the COVID crisis, mosques were closed, and there was a mandatory stay-at-home order for children. But it was a blessing in disguise. It was an opportunity for our young men to take the lead. We prayed Taraweeh, we're neighbors, our families are neighbors. We prayed Taraweeh together in one of our homes, and our young teenage sons, we have 2 Hufaz, alhamdulillah, amongst us, they led us in prayer, and we finished the entire Quran together, men and women, on the 29th of Ramadan. Fridays we couldn't pray in the masjid, but we taught our young men the fiqh and the art of giving khutbahs, and every Friday a different young man delivered a khutbah that he had prepared during the week.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله.
Today I'm going to be talking about Ramadan. Today is the first day of Ramadan. It Ramadan is a great month and with many rewards for it. Allah says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد.
One by one, we've been joined by more families. As the number of families on the ground here grows, and as the Basira project grows with the inauguration of our 4-level curriculum, the number of online students grows, we felt that the time had come to start a program on the ground here to fulfill Basira's mission to help create a culture where people, their grounding in sacred knowledge, in the Muslim religious knowledge and spiritual traditions, enables them to critically integrate modern science and culture into an intelligent Islamic worldview, which is something that they love and they want to be a part of. And we decided to do this together. And so the Istanbul Family Program has been born. The Istanbul Family Program is organized around the theme of connections. 5 kinds of connections. If we have these 5 kinds of connections, we can connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. The first of these connections is connection to sacred knowledge. Sacred knowledge is the prophetic inheritance that prophets leave behind when they die. It's passed down from teacher to student in a chain of transmission, and when we sit in classes to learn this sacred knowledge preserved in the traditional Islamic sciences, there is something special. There's a barakah, there's a blessing, a transformative blessing that everyone feels. This connection to sacred knowledge is the foundation of the Istanbul Family Program. The second kind of connection is connection to ourselves. People often neglect this. We live in a hostile world. We feel threatened by people around us, maybe by our families, maybe by our communities, or a larger non-Muslim community in which we live. And when we feel threatened, we shut down and we stop feeling. We hide from our emotions. It makes us emotionally unhealthy people. So part of the Istanbul Family Program is connecting with ourselves. We'll have sessions on emotional health, on what a healthy relationship with parents, with children, with community members, with teachers looks like, what bullying is, what abuse is, how it affects us, and how we can repair the harm that we suffer when we go through these difficult experiences. The third kind of connection is connection to nature, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation. There's something vitalizing, life-giving that comes from being in trees, in grass, by water, and the activities that we have, weekly activities, even daily activities with our families in this location that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed us in, make this an ideal place for us to foster this kind of connection. We can get out of the concrete jungles that we live in and connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through His creation. The fourth kind of connection is connection to community. Our deen is a social religion, and when we connect with other people in classes of sacred knowledge, in circles of remembrance, at picnics, on trips, on vacations, and we do it in the context of religious culture, of religious life, it helps us connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. The final kind of connection is connection to history. We're located in Istanbul, the historic capital of the last great Islamic civilization. The Ottoman civilization was a Muslim civilization that encompassed people of all kinds of ethnicities, even all kinds of religions. And when we visit these sites and we recall how these people lived religion in their times, it gives us a sense of identity and inspiration in order to live religion in our time today. I hope you'll join us at the Istanbul Family Program. For more details, check out the website.